G'day, welcome to Mount Hill Scale Models. The review on the little 1/32 scale P38 Lightning by Hasegawa. I have done the kit, and I will just go through with that. She's just a nose sitter, and I'll explain a bit about that some more as well. Overall, the kit goes together quite well. It is a really old kit, and I do, before I go any further and complain about things, I do think it is a good kit for a beginner. For the fact is, it's low part count. The overall fit is about 8 out of 10, and with some careful construction, I think anyone could tackle this whole thing anyway. Now, the downfalls of the kit. There's two things. It needs a fair bit of weight in the nose. Mine, if you touch it, it will do the old tail sit, but most of the time in the display cabinet it sits up quite well. I loaded the nose with some fishing sinkers. The best I could get them up the front, the forwardest I could get them up the front to add more weight over the nose. I couldn't get any more in there, but in the instructions it does give you a little plastic clear part in the clear area, a little teeth section to sit underneath the tail for a stand, because I think the kit also doesn't give you quite enough instructions to how much weight you need in the nose. The other part of the construction too on this top half of the aircraft is the kit supplied gun barrels are way too thick. They don't fit into the ports, into the rebate in the nose. These spinner tips here, or the propeller hub, the covers, are very hard to glue on. Underneath this propeller hub there's a stub which sticks out like my finger here, and it's a little bit too short at the end. I had to build it up a little bit to get some glue on this hub inside so these would stick on there. So that's one thing just to be careful of. The decals, I had to replace a couple of decals. They were so far out of register. These wing stars are my from a spares box I've got. The other thing you've got to be really careful with this kit is when you start getting the construction done, there's a lot of things on here you can knock off, and I had a little bit of trouble keeping parts, especially the landing gear. The doors for the landing gear in the nacelles are very easily knocked off because they don't have any positive location or locating points. The same with the nose gear door. The rockets have also got injector pin marks on them on the wings. You might be able to see a couple of them. I tried to fill them and sand them the best I could, but they're just really horrible to work on. The trailing edges are really thin. It looks quite good. The propellers are nice and thin, and it didn't use much construction like a filler in the construction of this kit. You might have seen in the past videos if you want to skip back. Another disappointing part of it for me was my finish on the olive drab. I wanted to do a practice for the 1/48 scale Tamiya kit that's came out. I've tried to do a bit of different sort of panel shading. Didn't work out quite as well as what I wanted to. The same with trying to put some darker lines around the recessed panel lines, which you can still see, even though it's been dull coated, you can still see it's quite glossy in a few spots, and I can't work out what's caused that. I did have trouble with my flat coat that I used, the Guns flat coat. I think it was the bottle was out of date. It was I've already wrecked a couple of planes with it in the past, and I thought it was just the way I was doing it, but after speaking to the Rebels at Cloud9 and a few other people, the pigment had sort of gone lumpy in it. There's one or two little white spots on this kit too here that you can see that almost wrecked the paint job even more than what I've done to it. I've gone for the grey staining from the superchargers. I have seen some photos of P38 Lightnings that have the grey, the real lean mix fuel that turns to a greyish sort of colour I try to do that the best I could, and just a bit of practice anyway. But apart from that, look, it wasn't a bad kit, and I'd recommend it, as I said before, to anyone who wants to have a crack. I've used mostly Tamiya paints on this. I've used some Tamiya smoke to try to highlight some of the panel lines, and then I've used a clay-based wash over it as well to try to get it to stain up and look a little bit worn. The aerials on top have been done with Oozy line. I just brushed in a couple of the insulators there on the back of the canopy, and yeah, pretty much built straight out of the box. So I have got some scratch built harnesses inside the aircraft and a little bit of detail in there that I added just because the glazing's so big. But that's the little P38 done. Thank you for all your kind comments. It was quite an interesting build and an experiment time. And I've learnt a bit about this, and some of the effects I'm trying to create, and some of the farthings of some paint I'm trying to use. As I said, the AK weathering pencils didn't work out quite as well on this as what I thought they might have done. I have tried to highlight a couple of panels on there with the AK pencils. I was still very disappointed that the aircraft ended up under lights, especially this one above my bench. I can still see the gloss in it after it's been dull coated, where I've used some Tamiya smoke, and then it sort of hasn't dulled down enough. But look, it looks alright in the display case, and said it's my first P38 to build. I've got the 48 scale Tamiya kit to do, and I've got a 1/32 scale Revell kit to do, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck into those. So thanks guys. Any questions, please let us know. Until next time, be safe, model hard. A little bit of effort, you can get a good result from an old model kit. And stay tuned for the next video coming up, which I'll start putting up today. Catch you later.